everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Lady Starfire, and today I want to talk to you about elements and elementals. What is the difference and what are they? All right, first we're going to talk about elements. Now, elements deal with the for directions and things that we deal with every day in our life, which is earth, fire, water, and air. Okay, so when we use the pentagram, you have the elements that go to each point. Now, the point at the top is representative of spirit, and the center, for those that do the 6 elements, is void. All right. So, we all know what, each of those things represent. Air, the air that we breathe. Water, of course, we all know what water is. Fire, and earth. So, when we do things, we like to incorporate those 4 elements. So, when we cleanse, we use salt, which represents earth, water, which is water, and we mix those together to cleanse with. And then we have our incense, which gives us our fire and air. We also have candles, which has a flame, which can further be our fire. But we have our different elements that correspond to things that we do. Now, in those elements are what's called elementals. Okay, they're different because they are actual entities of some sort. All right. So for earth, we have gnomes, and I think everybody knows what a little gnome is, but they are what is usually helping us if we are doing something using earth magic. Now, for the air, we have sylphs, and they help us, if we're doing some sort of air magic. For fire, we have salamanders. And any of these that you don't know what they look like, feel free to look them up. I'll probably try to get some little pictures and pop up here for you to look at. And then we have undines for water. Now, something is really important in working with elementals. Okay, the elements are there, we work with them, no problem. You still have to be careful because the elementals are what usually actually helps you. So when you're doing something where you're calling on any of these elementals to help you, please be sure and remember to thank them and send them back to their native habitat without harming anything along the way. Do not ever call on them and leave them to run rampant. I know of a woman who had 2 fires at her home, one completely destroy it, the other one luckily she caught in time, and she came to me and asked me why this was possibly happening to her. And so I asked her if she had asked for anything and put it in fire, and she did. A few months back at a Yule celebration, she had written down something that she wanted and burned it in the fire. Well, in doing that, you're automatically asking for, aid of that element, which means you're asking the elementals, and even more so if you happen to call on them. Well, she forgot to ask them to aid her in this and then return to their native habitat, harming nothing along the way. So these salamanders have been left to just frolic and have lots of fun until they reminded her, and therefore she had a fire. I've known of people whose houses have flooded, pipes burst and such. Tornadoes come through, or high winds in general, okay, earthquakes. All of these things, not saying that all of these things that happen is because of that, but these things can cause it, okay? And they can cause it for someone else because you didn't send them back. It's just like anything else when we are working magic and we are calling on the assistance of elementals, the elements, different deities or fairies, dragons, whoever you're calling on, you have to always be sure to give them direction on exactly what you want help with. And once that has been obtained, to then return to their habitat and harm nothing along the way. This is so important to say these words, because if you don't, you can possibly be building up lots of bad karma. But once again, the elements are simply the earth, fire, air, water, spirit, the void. Some people use some other ones, but those are the main ones that we would be working with. The elementals are the entities within those elements that actually come and help us. Now, if you've ever watched a big bonfire and stuff, I'm sure you have seen salamanders fluttering around in those flames. It's really awesome to watch. And you can see a lot of these if you take the time and really watch and look for them. Just remember, they are very dangerous to play with, because the fire will burn you, and all these other things can harm you if you play, you're not serious about what you're doing, and you don't remember to thank them and send them back. So use your elements, learn them, learn what they do, make sure you're putting the right direction to the right element. I believe I taught you this with circle stuff, those of you that have taken my classes. But for those of you that haven't taken the classes or bought my class book yet, north is earth, east is air, south is fire, and west is water. Now, there are some traditions that mix them up a little bit, but most use them this way. And it's always worked well for me, so I'm going to take that as a good sign that it's a correct way to do it. So use your elements when you're calling your quarters. Just don't call on elementals unless you make sure that you send them back. When you're using the elements, a lot of times those elementals come with them, so make sure that you thank them for their service and dismiss them along with everything else. That's why it's really safer to call guardians. So you have your guardian of the south, okay, element of fire. That's okay to do. And therefore, when you dismiss that guardian, you're dismissing everything to that direction. But be really safe about these things. I hate seeing people's homes burn or flooded or blown away or down in a sinkhole or something, okay? So be real careful, pay attention. No matter who or what you call on, dismiss them. Now, the exception of that would be the god and goddess. Now, some people do actually dismiss them. I personally, have always been of a mind that they leave when they're ready. Now, you can let them know that you're closing out your circle and that, they're welcome to stay or go. Don't ever do that with your quarters or your elements. Always make sure that you dismiss them. You thank them and dismiss them, okay? Because, once again, like I just explained, things can happen. So never allow your quarters to stay. Always hail and farewell to them, okay? Your god and goddess will usually leave when they're ready. You can let them know that you're done and invite them to stay if they like or go if they will. It's safe to do that with at least most of them. I figure some of them will whop me upside the head if I try to tell them to leave. So I don't bother to do that, especially with my goddess. So anyway, I hope this helps you out in understanding elements and elementals and the difference and what you need to do and not do in dealing with them. If you have any stories to tell, leave them down there in the comments for me, okay? Or if you have any questions that I maybe didn't answer here about elements and elementals, put it in the comments. I will be happy to answer your question just as soon as I see the comment. Sometimes I'm faster at it than others, depends on whatever else I have going on. But I do try to get to them as quickly as I possibly can. So until the next time, I appreciate you. I love that y'all come and watch my videos. It really makes me feel good that my information is received well and that y'all want this information. I do the best I can to provide you with things to help you along your path and your everyday life. So leave me comments, click the buttons if you don't mind. Share my videos with somebody that you think may need the information, because I'm sure there's plenty out there that are especially new and don't know all of these things and could use the truthful information that I try to provide. So until the next time, have a wonderful and blessed day. Remember that you are loved. Blessed be.